44,000. 100,000, 44,000. 100,000, 44,000. 100,000, 44,000.
Okay, so shalom, brothers and sisters. Welcome to another show of ISBHPK, the news. Okay, we are here once again with Priest Tahawan Mayam, Priest Arya. We're here with Priest Lakama, and we're here with Priest Kwataza.
Shalom.
Okay, and on this show we touch on the various trending topics and the important topics we want to hit from a biblical standpoint. Okay, so we're going to touch on one today, and I'm going to say this starting out: these aren't our images. We got these images from the web, and we don't own these images. That way they don't ban us on YouTube.
Right.
We are not claiming ownership of these images. Okay, but the topic we're going to be talking about today is this image right here of Rihanna. Okay, the image of Rihanna that we've all seen.
Right.
You know what I mean? That the one we're going to throw up here. This image we're going to talk about is the image of the black woman. And I want to go ahead and go in on this topic because, like I've been saying, what's the difference between a 70s hooker? You remember back in the days you can define or you could tell, hey, mommy, she's a street whore, right?
Yeah.
The high heels, the lipstick,
the red light district,
the red lipstick, the
Right.
blonde wig,
Right.
Yeah.
Things that signified specifically this was a streetwalker.
Right, exactly. and nowadays there is no difference, between a regular woman as opposed to, a woman that, which one do I want to take home to mom? Right. Which one do I want to take home to dad and marry? And it's no difference because it's images like this. That has degraded the black woman in society. So that's what we're talking about tonight.
Right. It's hard to respect a woman that doesn't keep a standard of her own. Now you're thirsty if you go for the girl that has her ass hanging out,
right?
Has her breasts all out, but at the same time, she's doing that for the attention,
right?
So really, the thirst is hers,
right?
You know what I mean,
right?
But how are you supposed to respect that? Before even in the 70s, at least you could respect the hookers for their mind,
right?
You know what I mean? Now they don't have no brains,
right?
You know what I mean? They can't wear all their clothes now, and you're supposed to respect them for what? Half of them can't cook, half of them can't clean, half of them can't do anything a grown-up, much less a grown woman could do. They can't do any of that, can barely wipe their ass, and then at the same time, you're supposed to respect them when they're topless.
Right, when they're topless, they're showing their box, they're showing, to millions of people. Once again, this is the standard that's been degraded through media.
Right.
But using the image of the black woman, the Israelite woman.
Yeah. I remember back in the day, a woman didn't have to take all her clothes off to be a good singer.
There you go.
Mariah Carey didn't have to, back in the day. Now she does.
Back in the day, Mariah, right.
Yeah, but, 90s, early 2000s, you didn't have to take all your gear off to be a good singer, to sell your album.
Right. You didn't see Aretha Franklin and Patti LaBelle, and all these women that had actual skill with singing naked.
Right. Their voice sold it.
Could I get one scripture just to start us out? And then we're going to continue on this. But this is Ezekiel 44 verse 23. And it says here, and they shall teach my people the difference between the holy and profane. Right. And that's what this show is about. This show is not about... The whole point of us realizing who we are and what we need to wake up to is not to degrade or to lessen the black woman. Because we're trying to show the black woman, the Hispanic woman, the Israelite woman, that you are the queens of the earth. But now you have to put on your clothes and act like it. It's the media, it's TV, it's the black woman herself that perpetuates the whoredom, the slutty, the slut, the when they're talking about slut shaming, like it should be a disgrace to be called a slut. And I'm going to throw up here, I want you to actually look up the definition of slut, but I'm going to read this while you're doing it. It says, and they shall teach my people the difference between the holy and profane and cause them to discern between the clean and the unclean. Right. That's what this is about. This topic is about where are the children going to be able to discern and say, hey, listen, this is a whore, and this is a good woman. And that's not happening because just on sheer imagery, the image of the black woman has been trashed.
Right. I mean, we drive up here, on the way to the school, and my son looks out the window, and there's hookers all up and down, but this and that.
Right.
You know what I mean? And it's one thing to be able to lean back in the seat and be like, yeah, those are prostitutes.
Right.
Don't mess with those.
Right.
It's another thing when he goes to school and the chick in his class is dressed like that because her mom don't have no damn shame. You know what I mean?
That's who bringing
it. And remind you, he's 7.
Right. He's 7, 8 years old.
That's how the parents is. One of the biggest issues I like to attack always is more on the political side. And I look at, just how rape is being promoted in the United States. You know what I'm saying? 60% of the people under 18 are that's Rihanna's crowd. You know what I'm saying? That's who she affects. Mm-hmm. But then how do you explain to a 15-year-old that's half naked because of what she saw on TV?
Right.
Then she puts herself in adult-like situation.
You're not supposed to blame it on how they dress, though. Remember?
Right.
Now it's not because I was dressed that way. It's because he's a rapist. No, if you lead a horse to water, he's going to stick his face in.
There it is.
You know what I mean? That's what happens. You know what I mean? It's not about thirst. It's about an open hole being presented to somebody.
There it is. And that definition you wanted, it said that a slut. It said that she's a floozy, a tramp. It says that she's a prostitute.
Right. And what do you mean slut shaming? Like, you can't shame a slut because a shameless woman shall be counted as a dog.
Right.
And she's already ashamed. Right. A shameless woman shall be counted as a dog. You know what I mean? And these are the things that is not. I got one with it. Right. Proverbs 22:6. Oh. Train up a child in the way he should go, and when he is old, he will not depart from it. So, what is Rihanna training the children? Oh. And nobody wants to take responsibility. Oh, you got to take care of your kids.
I never said I was a role model.
Right.
Right. But she's got. But she's got 50.
Right.
She's got 58 million.
Not her parents.
Not her parents.
Not her parents. Because she didn't start out that way.
No, she didn't. You know who trained her? Hollywood,
right?
Yeah.
Right.
The so-called white man, the profane man such as Esau.
Right.
They trained her to do that so that our people cannot have a standard no more.
Right. There you go.
I mean? It's a plan. Mm-hmm. It's a plan. Psalms 83. It's a plan.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I mean, it's a plan. You got 58 million followers on Twitter. And you got that. Look how many people you affect.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? You're like a virus, and you're affecting these young women. And then it's sad because men go out, and that's what they end up clinging to.
Right.
They end up clinging to that type of woman or that type of spirit. And real quick, if I can pull the scripture.
Yeah.
This is Proverbs chapter 7 and verse 24.
Mm-hmm.
It says, "Hearken unto me now, therefore, O you children, and attend to the words of my mouth. Let not thy heart decline to her ways. Go not astray in her path. For she has cast down many wounded. Yea, many strong men have been slain by her. Her house is the way to hell, going down to the chambers of death."
Is this talking about a harlot?
It's talking about, you know what
it's talking about? A harlot. It's talking about a whore.
It's talking about repercussions of dealing with a harlot.
Right.
Because that's what's being promoted. Unsafe sex.
But how do I know what a harlot is these days?
Well, you don't these days.
You don't. That's the whole point.
That's the whole
point of the show is that there's no standard. You can't discern a good girl from a whore because now, or even intelligent. Like you see the intelligent ones is like, okay, now I gotta match the other little sluts.
Right.
Now even listen, go to. We just came from the park. Kids playing soccer and stuff, right? Mm-hmm. And all the moms out there, they want to dress with their guts hanging out like the little yamp.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Right.
It's like a meat show. It's like a meat show, man.
Oh.
Every parent event turns into like what parent can pick up on what parents parent. It's
disgraceful.
Let me live vicariously through my daughter.
There you go. Yeah.
That's what we just experienced at the mall all day. You got mothers walking around in booty shorts pushing a stroller around.
And you know what I say to people that and this is what the scriptures say to you people that talk about, it's not about the way she dresses, and
right?
When she gets raped and left for dead after a whole gang runs a train on her. Ecclesiasticus chapter 12 verse 13.
Mm-hmm.
This is what the scriptures have to say about that. If you're gonna go out there dressed like every open hole is available to the viewing public, then you're going to get raped. I mean, that's just what's going to happen. I'm not saying we're going to do it. We're not, we
definitely don't promote that.
Yeah, righteous men don't do this, but there's wicked people out there, and if you're going to act like you don't know it,
right?
You know what I mean? Then you deserve what you get.
And how many instances right now, as you go into the scripture, is to where these the little girls on media takeout on YouTube on the news that their parents are leaving them, you know what I mean, with these guys. Right. And these guys is raping them.
Yeah. Right.
Well, why? Why? How are they carrying themselves? How are they being? How they portraying themselves?
Right. Right.
And this is the issue, man. This is the issue. The point of the topic is to bring our sisters out of that damn madness, and for them to put on damn clothes, and to separate themselves from the whores and the nasty ass women. Yeah. You know what I mean, and bring a standard about themselves.
Yeah, because you don't see it on the news anymore. That these guys raped this girl or whatever. You barely see that anymore. Now it's police shootings and all that.
Right.
But why aren't they caring about a woman getting raped now?
Right.
Why is that not a big issue? Because they know you're doing it. You're bringing it on yourself.
Right.
And this scripture is true. Read that.
Right.
Ecclesiasticus chapter 12 verse 13. You said 12 and 13, right? Mm-hmm. It says, "Who will pity a charmer that is bitten with a serpent?"
Right. If you're a snake charmer and you get bit, ain't nobody like, oh, he got bit. We're surprised.
Right.
You worked with snakes. If you're a whore and you go out dressed like a whore and you get raped, nobody's gonna be surprised anymore.
Right.
Or even if you're not one and you dress like one.
Right. Right. Go ahead.
I mean, yeah.
"Or any such as come nigh wild beasts."
Go ahead.
Verse 14. "So one that goeth to a sinner and is defiled."
Right, you went into that industry. You decided that's what you wanted to do with your life, and now you're a super slut. You know what I mean, a superstar slut, and for the viewers, you're going after her, and you know what I mean, following in this madness. That's on you.
Yeah, I'm looking at it right now, and when you look at her video, like what this video isn't even about the music no more.
Right.
No.
It's about how many guys can bow down and eat her box.
Right. She literally could be reading the phone book right now, and niggas will buy this album.
Right.
Well, that's why she went from A Girl Like Me to Rated R.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Yeah. If you see the transformation of when
Good
it was about
this video is going to be rated R.
Yeah.
The first Rated R
Yeah.
pop video. That's crazy.
And the crazy part is it's considered pop music. So when you go in your kids go into the popular music, you don't see nothing wrong. They're hiding these things. It's kind of like Adult Swim on Cartoon Network.
Right.
You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
They're making it to where you program your TV a certain way, and then when you're asleep, you're expecting cartoons.
No.
And
it's your
this
kids.
is what you're getting.
Your kids are getting that.
Right.
And that's the thing that you talk about 50 million Twitter. Bro, you know how many kids watch this video on Vivo?
Yeah.
Crazy.
You understand?
That's YouTube. That's going to be YouTube.
Yeah.
Your kids are going to be on there. It's
Exactly.
going to be a suggested video on YouTube while they're watching SpongeBob do this or Magic School
And you
Bus.
just got to confirm you're 18.
Right.
Come on now.
While they're watching the unboxing of the newest Lego set, there's a suggested video with Rihanna's breasts on it.
And then you got
Rihanna's
GQ.
box, right?
Listen, you got GQ magazine that supports her. You got Vibe that supports her. You got Rolling Stone that supports her. These people been promoting and aiming at certain types of crowds since the beginning of time. Think of Vibe, that's black. Think of Rolling Stone, that's white. So they know what area to promote certain things, and they're killing our kids with these images of this is what's pretty.
You know what she is? She's the new Sarah Bartram. Way back in the 1800s, 1900s, they had the big-breasted, big-booty woman. They'd parade all over London as a sideshow piece. You know what I mean?
Right.
And she's the new that.
Yeah.
And she doesn't even. She might be conscious of it. She might not be. It seemed like she enjoys this stuff.
Right.
But she's a puppet on a string of getting danced around a bunch of people so that they could say, "Oh, look how beautiful the black woman is, all uncovered like that."
Right.
I mean, they got Kelly Rowland like that. They got them all like that.
What's sick is the only
like
way
that.
they say, if you can go on Facebook every time they show, the black woman is a god, the black woman's a goddess, right?
Right.
She's always butt ass naked.
Right.
Excuse my language,
Right.
but
Right.
that's how it is. It's
Right.
like they always parade her around as no clothes on,
Right.
and then she's a goddess. Then she's the empress. Then she's the queen.
Mm-hmm.
Why is it she's not okay? If you're a king or a queen, right? You have clothes on. You can afford clothing.
There you go.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Right.
That, like I said, there's no difference. Where'd you want? Where did you?
That was it on mine.
That was it on yours. You have one more?
Yeah, I had one. Yes.
Okay, go ahead, because I got one too.
It's Revelations chapter 18 and verse 4. And it said, and I heard another voice from heaven saying, come out of her, my people, that you be not partakers of her sins, and that you receive not of her plagues.
Yeah.
Right? It's very important because what we got to understand is we got to really teach our people the effects, because Esau and Satan, the devil, whatever, they know what they're doing. Right?
Yeah.
And even Esau will tell you, psychologists, they'll tell you that what they're doing is impressionable to young adolescents.
Yeah.
On purpose.
Everybody knows this except the average person that wants to keep doing it. Right. You know what I mean? The average Amber Rose, the average minds that they're destroying.
Right.
They're perpetuating this.
Ooh,
You know.
Can I throw one in?
Yeah, go ahead. Go ahead.
This is Psalms 83
Uh-huh.
in verse 2. It says, for lo, thine enemies make a tumult,
Right.
and they that hate thee have lifted up the head.
Right.
They have taken crafty counsel against thy people.
Mm-hmm.
They're using the crafty counsel and the talk. They're using the music, the things that we love or that we gravitate to destroy us from the kids on up.
I don't know if it was. It was maybe a few years back when Rihanna was doing some ratchet again, but it was another country that was talking crap about her. You know what I mean? It was a magazine she did or something. I'll find it.
She did the topless spread, and they banned it in Europe.
Right, there you go.
But
that's how. Listen, that's how the nations. Listen, go to Philippians really quick. They hiss really quick. What is it? 2 verse 12. Get that for me real quick.
They hiss and clap their heads.
Yeah,
Meditation.
Con.
I guess.
Grab that for me real quick. But this is the thing is that the standard of the black woman. You know, you talk about them being the princesses and the royalty, and we're the kings and they're the queens. But once again, the black woman, the Hispanic woman, they don't act like it.
Right. Right.
So really, it's desecrating the image of what we're supposed to be being.
Right.
You know, and this is a sad thing, man, that our children, the next generation, has to see that. Right. Because her pride is saying, nigga, I got money,
right, and
you can't tell me nothing. Yeah. You know what I mean? She's not caring about her community or her family or nation, because that's why it goes back to America keeping you in this one world Nimrod order mentality. Right. We're all gonna climb this tower to the top because we're all in one mind. Why? Because now anybody that speaks outside of that, you're not American-like. Right. You know, and it's like they use that to destroy all standards.
Right. Even the American standard. I mean, it's the whole
20s,
the whole concept.
Yeah, when they used to wear dresses and
be founded on.
Right.
Is flipped on its head now because what the article says, she's trying to one up Madonna. She's trying to go past what Madonna did. Madonna, when she came out on stage with the combs for a top, that was it. She came out with a bra on, basically. Right. Then it was Selena that continued it. Right. To follow in her footsteps and make herself famous, Selena did it. Wow. You know what I mean, God rest her soul, but that was why Northside took her ass out. Right. Because she came out doing the same thing. Right. To follow in their footsteps. Right. And then now these women, now the next generation of these women are coming out and, well, I gotta top that. Right. You know what I mean? I gotta top being a whore. Yeah. Like, look at when you say Selena, look at Selena Gomez. Right. You know what I mean? Like her last video, it's like it's just like more skin, yeah. And the community that followed you, the children that followed you from the Mickey Mouse Club, the Britney Spears days, the Christina Aguilera days. Now they're grown ass hood rats. Right. Now we're gonna follow you all the way into your hood rat dumb. You're hood rat dumb. Right. Yeah, and then we are building our kids that way, and it's a consistent cycle.
and it's bringing down the real culture of the communities, of the households, of the families.
Well, you gotta think about Selena Gomez was about what? That was about 10 years ago when she started really big. Now that means her followers that followed her on Wizards of Waverly Place was like maybe 5 years old.
Wow.
Now they're 15 and 16, and they're going to be walking around like little sluts.
Wow.
And Miley Cyrus, I just saw her on an interview. It says she has what it takes.
Right.
She's naked, and it says she has what it takes.
Yeah, and that's what America promotes. But read that real quick. Philippians 2 verse 15. Lamentations 2 verse 15.
Lamentations chapter 2 and verse 15.
Right.
It says, all that pass by clap their hands at thee.
Right. So, no, this is not you being free. This is a mockery.
Right. Yeah.
This is a mockery of the black woman. It's a mockery on women.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Because they always want to talk about dignifying women and respecting women. How the heck could you do that when you're destroying your own image?
Right. Yeah. I mean, it's pretty sick because, we got a lot of people that always battle with us from the Kemet angle and everything. And, we know what ancient Egypt was into. This was their thing. Right. The sexualizing everything and having sex with everything. Mm-hmm. That was their thing. Right. And this modern day Egypt is doing the same thing. They're taking these women and they're making them be over sexualized and super sexualized because they know that's an easy sale. Yeah. You know what I mean? Yeah. Like, what happened to a challenge in the industry? You know what I mean? Like, I got to make it off my own steam. What happened to that? Right. No, now, okay, I just have to take my gear off and I'll get 58 million tweets.
And you look at all the new up and comers. Just look at them. They're dressed. They're wholesome. Right. Then when they sell their spirit, their spirit, they're gonna start showing their whole body. Right. When they want to make more money, they gotta show their more body and degrade themselves.
And you know what's sad is they don't. But that's the agenda.
Right.
You know what I mean? They don't have to do that. Like I said.
Right.
They didn't have to. Mariah didn't have to.
Right.
They did not have to do that.
Right.
You know what I mean? And they got multi-platinum albums.
Right.
They have a name that goes...
Hey, listen, Alicia Keys didn't.
Right.
She didn't. Yeah, right. She ain't been out in a while, but she hasn't. And she won many Grammys. Yeah. You know what I mean? She probably sold her spirit in other ways, but still, she didn't have to degrade herself and come out butt naked and show her box. Right. But finish that real quick.
It says, all that passed by, I'm sorry, let me read it again. All that passed by clap their hands at thee.
Right.
They hiss and wag their head.
Yeah, and that's what they did, where you said in Europe. They look at us in these other countries, and they're like, you're nothing but a black whore.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Hey, I got to get this. Ecclesiasticus 26 and 9. You know what I mean? And a lot of y'all women, y'all should be reading the whole chapter. Men too. Yeah. Read 26 verse 9.
Ecclesiasticus chapter 26 and verse 9. The whoredom of a woman may be known in her haughty looks and eyelids.
You see that? I mean, okay. Just because I look this way doesn't mean I'm a hooker. Yes, it does.
Yes.
We can tell you're a whoredom by the way you look.
Right.
You know what I mean? That's what the scriptures say. The way if you over there even just batting your eyes at the wrong cats and everything like that. Married women do that. They walk through the mall, they look at a guy and give him the eye and everything like that. It's like your man's right there. And then you can't figure out why your man's abusive. He watches you do that.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Who is going to restrain and teach or calm her down? Right. Who is gonna put her in a place to where now she can be with a man and be a wife? Who's going to do that when she's showing her box to millions?
Who gonna want that?
You know what I mean? And that's the thing, really. Who respects Rihanna? Like in the industry, everybody, Rihanna, Rita Ora, or you know what I mean? It's like there's names that go out there that just like, oh yeah, she's the Hollywood hoe. Yeah, we know who she is.
And then Rihanna,
I don't think we're saying anything new.
And then Rihanna's attacking the boyish girls, and Beyonce is attacking the transvestite tranny niggas.
Wow.
So there's a hidden agenda there,
right? Where
she's promoting the half of the head being cut, shaved, bald.
Right.
That independent, strong. We here to take over. Right. We're the boys. Like it's like seeing Rihanna in some boxer briefs.
Right.
Like that's how she would come out.
Right.
To promote that strength of a woman.
Right.
Like she don't understand.
It's the false strength.
Fouling.
Yeah. You know the original title I wanted to name this show was the great whore, the Babylon, the great whore, because that's what she reminded me of.
Right.
Like when you think of the great whore of Babylon, who's running this right now? Like who's the one out there? Her ass is everywhere.
Yeah. Right.
If it ain't Beyonce, it's Rihanna, and Rihanna has overdone Beyonce. I think many times over.
I don't think you've ever seen Beyonce naked.
No, not
breasts.
yeah. Like this chick has.
I seen her on GQ or Vibe. It was one of them where she had gold glitter on her body, but that's as far as it went.
Yeah, it's like now listen. This is one video, "Kiss Me Better," but go watch Work. Then if you watch Work on Vivo, an extra one comes on after the Jamaican one.
Uncut.
Yeah, it's like, and she's with Drake, and she just no bra, see through. You know what I mean?
Right.
And
that's how she shows up to like basketball games and stuff, like with just like a mesh.
Yeah,
it's
They
like
doing
they doing that in the mall
Like,
now. Now we got girls.
What's deep is it hasn't changed though. The whore of Babylon now isn't Babylonian; it's an Israelite.
Wow.
The original whore of Babylon. You know the when you go through the histories and everything like that.
Right.
You find out that this was our women, man. When they looked at our women and put them up as goddesses, Esther became Ishtar, in the Babylonian custom, and our beautiful Hadassah, Esther, became now their goddess that they worship butt naked.
Yeah,
she's their goddess of fertility.
I mean, because the black woman is the most beautifulest woman in the world. The Israelite woman is the most beautifulest woman in the world, but not anymore, because you have took that beauty, you have trodden on it. You have destroyed it. Now your beautiful daughters will grow up being in that image.
Oh yeah.
You understand? And this is what we got to stop, man.
This is going to be common. It's going to be common, man. That's what they want. They want our beauty to be just common.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So that there's nothing to look up to.
Right.
Now we can hiss and wag our heads at them.
Yeah.
You know.
Yes, sir.
You were saying though?
No, I'm at amazement, man, because I can see it. I can see it in the mall. I can see it in the school systems where our girls are becoming tomboys. You know, they got a chain wallet.
But tomboys, I think the correct expression nowadays is
bull dykes.
No. It's not no gender. They're like, I'm not picking a gender.
Yeah.
Right.
I can deal with guys. I can deal with girls. You know what I mean? I call it androgynous, transhumanism.
Right.
To on the way to transgender.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Right.
You know, which goes back to Satan.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
And if you look at Beyonce, all her music is targeted towards homosexuals. That's why all the Israelite men play her music when they're emulating her body movements. Like Shaq, the first thing he did for Halloween is dressed up like Beyonce.
Wow.
You know what I mean? When you pay attention to what is being put out there, the music is affecting a certain type of people. And it's actually feminizing black men.
Right, and you know what? We need to actually throw this on the link of the show, the one we did on the music industry.
Oh, right.
Mm-hmm. You know, but I didn't want to touch on it from a music point because it's in every aspect now. Like you said, it's in the mall. You got the young girls, the clothes.
I mean, everything is feminine.
Can I get Jeremiah 2 verse 21 real quick?
Right.
Because we're saying these things, but it's not because we're some camp that hates women, some camp that just sees the black woman as a
not at all,
dog or whatever.
Right.
The thing is, we're sad for our people. You know what I mean? We're sad for our women that came to this point.
Right.
You know what I mean? They were princesses. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. That's what they were all looked at. You had an entire nation of men wanting to circumcise themselves just off seeing one of our women. Mm-hmm. You know. To now they're just common street trash gutter whores.
You can go down the street and pick one up.
Right.
Dub.
Right. Go ahead.
Jeremiah chapter 2 and verse 21. Yet I have planted thee a noble vine.
This is how you were planted. This is how you were put on the earth. You were planted a noble vine. Don't let that false depiction of Adam and Eve fool you that they were really just butt naked on the earth. We went through that show.
Right.
You know what I mean? They had clothes on. Right. But he planted you women a noble vine.
Right.
You know, this is what they don't understand is that he put them down here to be looked upon as like all the other nations, gods and goddesses.
Right.
You know what I mean? But what happened?
Holy a right seed.
Holy a right city, the completely right and righteous.
Right.
That's how they were planted.
Right.
Go ahead.
how then art thou turned into the degenerate plant of a strange vine unto me?
Right. You turned into the degenerate plant of a strange vine. This is perfect with Rihanna, because when she first dropped in the industry, she was all innocent looking, all white, doing their little beach thing, right? And now she's just a gutter whore. Now she just you know, got no clothes on. She's doing Playboy poses on a video, and we're supposed to be listening to your voice the whole time? Right. It's like you became the degenerate plant of a strange vine. This isn't our customs. This isn't. You know, she's Trinidadian, right? Yeah. This isn't just a natural Trinidadian custom that we just walk around butt ass naked. Right. This is something that she's getting from the nations, making her do this. Right. So now she's a strange vine. Now she's a strange plant. Right. And that's what's going to happen to our women now. Is they're dropped on the earth. Their mothers are raising them righteous, but they're going to be watching this video and then become degenerates. And
finishing it up, closing it out, you know, I just want to go back to that Revelations 18:4, and come out of her, my people, that ye be not partakers of her sins, and that ye receive not of her plagues. We got to come out of all these ideals and customs and see that these are standards that don't go according to the Creator, and it should be common sense at this point. Right. You know what I mean? So listen, everybody keep tuning in to ISB HBK, the news. We're going to be doing one topic. If you want us to do a topic, hit us up. We'll touch on it. We'll go at it biblically and try to rip this up and wake people up to, you know, all the madness that's out there. So with that, we'd like to thank you for tuning in. Check out our other channels, our live class. We are the Israelite School of Biblical History and Practical Knowledge. We'd like to say shalom. Shalom.
Hebrews are coming, Hebrews are coming, yeah. Hebrews are coming, Hebrews are coming, yeah. 100,000, 44,000, 100,000, 44,000, 100,000, 44,000, 100,000, 44,000.